Hey guys, it's George. Welcome to today's video. So last week, a video popped up on my home screen. I saw the title of it and I was literally like, really now? Really now? This video called K-pop Fashion Sucks popped up on my home screen, and at the time it had like 50,000 views. This video now has 300,000 views, and I feel like I need to react to it. Obviously, we've built this channel, we've built this community here on this channel that's all about K-pop and fashion. And for this video to pop up on my home screen, I felt like YouTube was coming for me. So the plan is that I'm gonna react, give you my thoughts, opinions, any knowledge I can share. You guys know the drill. Just a little bit about my fashion background before we get into it. I studied fashion design at university where I specialised in menswear, and then I went on to work in the fashion industry for 4 years where I worked with affordable brands, contemporary designers and British heritage brands. Let's get stuck into this video. So the video K-pop Fashion Sucks was uploaded on the 4th of December. It has over 300,000 views and it is by redvelvetsus. I'll link the video in the description so you can go check it out, go visit her channel. But let's just go. I'm really curious what she has to say.
But this week's video, if you couldn't tell, is about K-pop fashion and why I think it sucks. I've talked about K-pop fashion before, specifically in regards to Red Velvet.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
One of my most popular videos on my channel is my Red Velvet Needs a New Stylist video. This time I wanted to talk.
I mean, I did just do a Red Velvet marathon and I finished on Zimzalabim. So if you want to go see my opinions on Zimzalabim, I'll leave that linked in the description box for you. But you heard what the girl just said. Ooh.
More generally about what I think is wrong with fashion in K-pop. For the sake of transparency, I will say that I have no sort of degree or certification relating to fashion. I'm just somebody who likes clothes and has opinions. I'm not a professional and I never claim to be, so take these opinions how you will. Now,
I will, trust me, I will. Also, I like the fact that she stated that, like, as I always say in my videos, fashion is subjective. My views are going to be different to her views because it is a subjective topic. It's no right or wrong answer when it comes to anything creative. So I'm interested to see what her points are, but I like the fact that she's stated that. And I did study fashion, I did work in the industry, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be like,
oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about.
As I said, everyone has an opinion and different tastes when it comes to this topic.
Video. First opinion is every female idol does not need bangs. Don't take this the wrong way. I have nothing against bangs. I absolutely love the traditional blunt bangs on the right person.
Also, I don't really understand what bangs or a hairstyle has to do with a fashion video. I understand the hairstyling will go hand in hand with the look, the concept, the fashion that they're wearing, but I don't really think it really has anything to do with fashion itself. Okay, I'm gonna skip past this bangs section.
Next opinion is leave dyed tips in 2013 where they
again
belong.
Hair. Moving on again. Hopefully this isn't about hair.
Next opinion is male idol fashion is boring. There isn't really much to say
bitch.
here. Male idol fashion is stagnant and extremely safe. K-pop idols put.
Did I just hear correctly?
Next opinion is male idol fashion is boring. There isn't really much to say here. Male idol fashion is stagnant and extremely safe. K-pop idols put them in the same black or dark blue blazer and pants and
where have you been?
They ate. Either that or they'll put them in some high-end brand like Gucci and expect the price tag to make up for the fact that the outfit is boring.
I'm shook. I think the thing is with men's fashion and menswear, if you are a woman and you're not interested in men's fashion, if you're not interested in men's fashion in general, menswear to the naked eye, it can appear very boring. And I studied menswear. I worked as a menswear buyer working in formal and casual wear, so I can understand that. But the thing with menswear is it's all down to the details. It comes down to the fabrics, the silhouettes, the little details that make each piece unique. And I don't feel like her saying male idols are just in a black or a blue blazer or they're in like a high-end brand is necessarily correct. When you see female idols, they're also wearing big brand names, Chanel, Givenchy, they're still wearing the obvious branding. So I feel like you can't just aim that at male idols. It's both male and female do the whole obvious branding thing. And I could equally throw this point back at female idols. The 90s Chanel vibe, always coming through strong. The clueless kind of look, always coming through strong. Checked cohorts. There are elements in male and female fashion within K-pop that are quite repetitive, so you can easily aim it either way.
It's tired. And whenever K-pop stylists dare to experiment with fashion, they immediately resort to using traditionally feminine clothing like skirts or crop tops. And to be clear, I have nothing against male idols wearing traditionally feminine clothing. In fact, I feel like it's done way too often and it's not nearly as revolutionary or fashionable as it used to be.
Again, I agree to disagree. I agree that stylists are probably putting male idols in crop tops and skirts for the shock value of it or because it has become such a big trend recently. But I feel, as she says, it's not revolutionary. Men in skirts, men in crop tops, it's been around for a long time before fucking Harry Styles was around. Nothing against Harry Styles, but again, it's just, he's the one that's like the forefront of this trend at the moment. But yeah, it's been around for such a long time. So again, agree to disagree. I feel like when you get male idols who do wear crop tops and skirts and they look incredibly comfortable in it and they pull it off, it works, but sometimes it is a bit overdone and you can tell that like they're not vibing with it. So I think it really comes down to a group by group scenario.
Throwing a skirt or a crop top on a male idol is usually just a way to add shock factor, and in the earlier years of K-pop this might have been a fashion statement, but at this point it's boring, especially because they usually just rely on the shock factor and there's little to no attempt to coordinate the outfit. You know how we all joke about how guys will put on eyeliner and people rave about how they're breaking gender stereotypes? This is exactly how I feel about crop tops and skirts on male idols. It's just a gimmick to cover up how boring male fashion really is, and it's not as radical as most people think it is, especially since queer men have been doing it longer than some of these idols have been alive. Next.
Again, agree to disagree. I agree with what she says about queer men, people in the queer community doing this longer than some of these idols have been alive. That's facts. It's facts. But I don't feel like putting someone in a crop top and putting someone in a skirt is because men's fashion is boring. I disagree with that. I think what it really comes down to is that there is a big double standard of what is acceptable for male idols to wear and to show and what's acceptable for female idols to wear and to show. And I feel like this is why male idols get to take more of a risk when it comes to how they dress. That's personally how I feel. I feel like concepts and the outfits male idols are given are more taken to an extreme than what female idols are given. But that's because there's such heavily sexist ideas when it comes to female idols. It really makes it tricky for stylists to navigate how to dress female groups, how to dress male groups, and it is quite skewed. I'm like, geez, we're getting quite deep into some serious topics here. Let me know what you think in the comments of this. I disagree that men's fashion is boring, but I think I'm biased because I worked in the industry, I studied menswear, and yeah, let me know what your thoughts are because I think this is a big topic of conversation. Let's move on to Red Velvet Sus' next point.
Next opinion is safety shorts are pointless if you can see them. I think this is something we can all agree on. I would honestly prefer if stylists gave female idols longer dresses or just had them wear pants if I'm just going to see their safety shorts the entire time they're dancing. The point of safety shorts is that they're there in case someone's skirt or dress rides up while dancing, not so that it's part of the outfit.
Again, agree to disagree. I feel like the example she showed is a perfect example when it's a bit like could we not have just made her dress a bit longer? But then when I think of Red Velvet Ice Cream Cake, where they've got the pleated skirts on and they've taken away the side panels and they've made the safety shorts as part of the look, it works there because it is a sporty look. It's kind of giving that varsity cheerleader vibe. So it works. And if they'd kept the side panels of those skirts in when they did do the move where they like kind of squat down to the floor, it just sort of made the skirts massively ride up. So I think in those instances, it works. But I think when something is incredibly tight and it's incredibly short and it is just riding up over the safety shorts, I agree with what she's saying. What is the point? Just make it a bit longer. It's not gonna do anyone any harm just to make something a bit longer for that idol's comfort.
Like, it just reminds me of having to put on leggings when your mom gets upset that your dress is too short.
I mean, can't relate.
It ruins the whole outfit, and it completely negates the point of wearing a skirt or shorts over it. It also prevents idols from giving good performances if they're constantly tucking down their skirt or dress during their performance. I love a good stage outfit, but comfort should always come before fashion in these cases.
Disagree. I'm sorry, I disagree with that. Every time a K-pop group has a comeback, there is a concept and they're styled to fit that concept. And if they're coming out in leggings and trackies, it doesn't fit that concept. So I disagree with that. If you're dressing to serve a look, it's not about comfort. If you're dressing to serve a concept, it's not about comfort. I agree with her when she says that we can just make things a bit longer and it will make them feel more comfortable. I agree with it in that sense. But when it comes to serving a look, serving a concept, which I feel like is a big part of K-pop, it shouldn't be comfort over everything else. I think when it comes to styling for stage outfits and when groups are styled incredibly well, you can see that there is the concept, they're serving a look, but then there are practical elements to the looks. They are comfortable in the looks, they're confident in the looks. That's when the two worlds, like the two aspects, need to come together, and that to me is what a great stylist is. So disagree with that point, but agree on some levels. I feel like I've just completely rambled that, so
And there are plenty of ways to create a good outfit with a longer dress or pants. And I know a lot of people love to claim mistreatment or sexualization at situations like this because those are two of K-pop stans' favorite buzzwords, but that's not what I'm trying to imply. I'm just tired of seeing a good performance and good outfits being hindered by safety shorts because these stylists can't bother to give them.
As she said, it doesn't always come down to
dance
sexualization and mistreatment, but to me, like, stylists are going to be altering clothes, so I don't think everything is going to come and literally be like this short. It's probably altered to be that short. So come on, just add like an extra inch or two to a hemline. It's not going to hurt anyone. If anything, it's going to like better them. Let's move on to the next point.
Next opinion is they're not a fashion icon, they're just skinny. Before I start, I want to clarify that this is not the part where I start body shaming people. But it's undeniable that a person's ability to be fashionable and trendy relies solely on how skinny they are, and a lot of idols benefit from skinny privilege. The fashion industry is made for skinny people, and the defining characteristics of most trends in K-pop requires that you be skinny. And for this reason, I've come to realize that a lot of so-called fashion icons in K-pop actually aren't that fashionable. They're just skinny and they can afford to spend thousands of dollars to follow trends closely. If you really examine a lot of K-pop stage outfits and airport fashion, you'll notice that the main appeal isn't actually the clothes themselves, it's the body they're on. Most of these looks could only look good on skinny people. There are very few K-pop idols who can actually dress well and who don't rely on just having the ideal body for fashion. There's a really good video by Karina Gomez here on YouTube called "Is It an Outfit or Is She Just Skinny?" And it really highlights how a person's ability to be fashionable is based on their body, not the actual outfit themselves.
I feel like this is a really interesting topic and point, and it's quite not necessarily controversial, but as she says, she's not out here trying to body shame people, and I think it's something that needs to be worded in a very specific way, otherwise people will take offense. So I'm thinking very carefully of how to put my point. I feel like there is a lot of weight behind what she's saying. When you think of who you see in fashion shows, in magazines, it is very, very skinny people. It's only recently that you're seeing more of a variety of shapes and sizes on the runway. Like when you see the Versace runway and they're starting to include bigger women, curvier women, it's what we need to see, but it's something that should have been seen a long fucking time ago. So I can understand where she's coming from in that point. And I laughed because it was Bella Hadid was the example on that thumbnail. For me personally, there is such a difference between fashion and personal style. And when I'm thinking of fashion and trends, yes, agree to a point that it is aimed at the one body type that is seen by the fashion industry. I remember when I was a fashion design student and all of the girls were doing women's wear and they would fit their designs to the mannequin and then they would put it on a real woman. The fit would be completely off because the bust of the mannequin would be like 3 inches higher than the real bust. The waist would be higher, the hips would be too small. It was like things like that. So it is definitely skewed. But then on the flip side of that, personal style, you're not following a trend or what looks good on someone else, and you can definitely take elements of something that is a trend, someone else's style. You can take elements of it and make it work no matter your size, your body shape. That's what personal style is. It's tweaking things so it works for you. And being able to dress for your body size, your body shape is a big thing, and it's going to make such a difference on whether an outfit looks good on you or whether it looks bad. You can't just literally pluck an outfit off of one person and drop it on someone else and expect it to look good. So this is a huge topic of conversation and I could go on and on and on for a lot longer, but I feel like the points I've just made are kind of like the top level of it.
Highlights how a person's ability to be fashionable is based on their body, not the actual outfit themselves. It's a good watch, and I think it applies to most K-pop idols. Unfortunately, a lot of them are not fashionable, they're just skinny, and they have the money and means to follow trends.
I don't really like the last sentence because it's like she's saying that you need to have money and you need to look a certain way to be classed as fashionable, and personally, I don't think that's the case at all. When people have a great sense of personal style and they incorporate specific trends into that personal style, you don't need to have thousands in the bank to be able to do that. You can thrift, you can reuse pieces from your existing wardrobe, you can do a wide variety of things to, you know, still have your sense of personal style and follow trends. And I think what she said kind of discredits a lot of people, and not everyone's going to be fashionable. Not everyone's going to be interested in fashion. And I wouldn't look at someone who was slim and in an all Gucci outfit and be like, oh my God, you're so fashionable, or you have a great sense of personal style. Because that's not what it comes down to for me. So as like I said at the start of the video, my views are going to be slightly different to hers. So that this is a big topic of conversation. I didn't think this video was going to get so deep. As I said at the start of the video, I'm going to have different views and opinions from Red Velvet Sus, and I feel like on most of the points so far, I've agreed with some of what she said, and I've disagreed with some of what she said, and a lot of these points are huge topics of conversation that need a lot more thought and time for a response. So I hope the points I've made are fair and you understand my thought process behind them, because the last thing I want to do with this reaction video is to like offend anyone. So
Next opinion is purple hair is an extremely underrated look. We do not
Agree.
see purple hair nearly as much as we should,
But
especially
again,
deep
we're
purple
back to a hair
And I'm not
trend.
talking
This is
about
not
lavender hair. I'm
of
talking
fashion.
about a bright, brilliant purple, especially
I feel like this should
with
be more
warm
like K-pop
undertones.
trends.
It's such a
I believe this is her final point. Let's see what she's got to say.
And the last opinion is a lot of K-pop stylists don't know how to style groups. I've said this before in regards to Red Velvet stylist, but with award show season just starting up, I'm realizing how many stylists cannot coordinate more than one outfit if their lives depended on it. I don't know that much about.
I have to agree. I have to agree. If you've seen any of my red carpet reviews, I have to agree.
How K-pop stylists operate, but I assume a lot of them probably got their start styling individuals such as actors or maybe even soloists. So they're probably not used to styling whole groups, which is why so many groups look like each member is attending a different event. It feels like stylists don't realize that just because each member is wearing.
I love how she's used this example of Everglow, because in my Asia Artist Awards video, I said that this was not cohesive at all. And I said as individual looks, they were great, but together it just doesn't work. So I'm actually so fucking dead that she's used this as the example. I love the fact that Red Velvet Sus has also picked up on this. And I think, as she said, it's very bizarre that stylists struggle to style a group. And I think fair enough if you got your start styling individuals, but I don't understand why styling a group would be so different. You're going to have a concept or a vibe that you're going for, and you would pull pieces for the group and you would make sure they looked cohesive. I feel like a lot of stylists aren't stepping back and looking at the group as a collective. When I review these red carpets, if they're on the red carpet by themselves, I'll review them as an individual, obviously. And when it comes to a group, I review it as a collective. So if they're not cohesive, it's not a good group look. So I don't understand the stylist's thought process behind that.
Wearing similar or the same colors doesn't mean that they can't still look mismatched.
Yes, Red Velvet Sus. Okay, so watching this back and editing this, I think I've been mistaken. I think Red Velvet Sus is actually cussing out aespa here, saying that this set of looks isn't cohesive, and me being the aespa fanboy that I am, I'm like, oh my god, yes queen. I am mistaken, but Red Velvet Sus, I don't understand how you don't think this is a set of cohesive looks. Yeah. Anyway, back to me fanboying. Bye. You know, this was the best look from the Asia Artist Awards. aespa slayed it. And this is what I mean by cohesion. I believe all of these looks are Givenchy, but just look at the balance of the looks. We've got Giselle and Ning Ning, whose legs are basically pretty much completely covered. And then we've got Winter and Karina, who have got the leg on show. And then we've got similar silhouettes, similar style boots, all black, different textures, cohesive as a group. It's not hard. It's honestly not hard to do.
One member looks like they belong on the red carpet and the other looks like they're attending a funeral. It doesn't matter if they're wearing all black. It looks out of place and uncoordinated. And you also don't have to give each member the same outfit either.
Yes.
There are plenty of...
Yes, Red Velvet Sus. I don't think I've agreed with you so much on a point. I feel like I could cry. I mean, no, I don't, but I'm loving you right now, Red Velvet Sus. I really don't like it when you see groups in matching looks, and there are certain times where I've loved it. NCT 127 come to mind, a favorite vampire. Those matching looks, flawless. All of their matching stage outfits for that comeback, obsessed. For me, a matching look does not work most of the time because the matching look is shit. I'll just say it. Most of the time, I feel like when you get a group in a matching look, there's nothing particularly special about it. There's not much going on. So it is literally just like the same kind of like meh outfit on like 6 people. So it just makes it look even worse. Do you know what I mean?
Ways to give each member a different outfit but still have them look coordinated at the same time. I just don't feel like enough K-pop stylists have enough training coordinating groups to give each member
I just don't even feel like you need to be trained to do that. It's just...
Anyways, that's all for this video. I know it's sort of different from the content.
I don't feel like you need to be trained on how to style more than one person and how to make something cohesive. As a stylist, it comes down to your taste and your eye. Yes, you can be trained as a stylist, but I feel like those are the two natural things you need to have as a stylist before you train to be a stylist to be a good stylist. Let's do a word count of how many times I just said stylist, because wow. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting this video to be such a big topic of conversation. There are so many points in this video that are such a deep conversation. The point about, are they a fashion icon or are they just skinny? The point about menswear being boring, and then how I was talking about how there's double standards about what's acceptable for male and female idols. There's bigger topics of conversation to be had about these points. But ultimately, I had fun reviewing this. A bit stressed at times on how to word what I'm saying properly, because as I said, the last thing I want to do is offend people or have my points misunderstood. So I hope I've come across clear and how I want in this video. Please let me know in the comments what your thoughts and opinions are of these points. I'll be there to sit and discuss with you and converse. What you should do next is go check out my previous video, my K-pop TikTok reaction video. I'll leave a card up here in the top screen as well as a link in the description box. But thank you so much for watching. A massive thank you to everyone who has subscribed. You are amazing. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.